Do you struggle with confrontation? Confrontation can be really scary sometimes, but also necessary. And without confrontation, you might find yourself stuck at work or in your personal relationships. So, today we're going to talk about how to overcome the fear of confrontation. Before we talk about overcoming this fear, it's very important that we understand what's really going on. Why do you feel afraid or not at ease when you have to confront someone? Because if we don't really understand what's the problem, then whatever solution we come up with, it's really not going to be solution to the problem, because everyone has a different kind of problem regarding this issue. So if I have a fear of confrontation, what does that really mean? Let's talk about emotions for a minute. So fear is an emotion, and emotions are normal and natural. We all experience them many times. They're neither good nor bad, they're just emotions. So the confrontation is the thing that is creating this emotion of fear in my life. That's the equation for now. The question is that equation true? Here we need to do some introspection work. Be aware that we are on autopilot mode most of the time. So often we don't even think about it. We don't even slow things down enough to examine or think about the answers to our question. So, I'm afraid of confrontation. That's it. That's a statement I just made, and I just accept it. And I label myself as such, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So each time I need to make a confrontation, my prophecy and my labeling become a reality, and that's known. And I feel afraid, which reinforces even more this belief. It's a loop. I know some people that like confrontation actually, so they enjoy confrontation. They think it's fun, they even search for it. So why would it be that the fear that I feel when I experience confrontation is this is what I feel and others do not feel? The logical reason to that is that it's not the confrontation itself. One of the things that is important to remember and understand is that events and circumstances do not affect us. Actually, it's the meaning we give to those events that really affect us. So things that happen, things that we experience, they have no meaning until we attach meanings to them. So confrontation is one of those things. It doesn't mean anything, absolutely nothing, until we attach a meaning to the confrontation. So instead of saying confrontation causes me fear, that's the correct logical sequence to it. And listen to that very well. We live an event or we pass through some circumstances in our life. Some of them we remember well, but others not really. This event is called an antecedent or an imprint. So this is the trigger and this is the thing that happens first. The trigger doesn't create the emotion. In other terms, the antecedent is not the one that triggers the emotion. In this case, we're talking about fear. As we said, it is the meaning we attach to that event. So it's our thoughts about the antecedent or the trigger that creates the emotion of fear. So the truth is, it's not confrontation that we are afraid of. It's the meaning that we attach to confrontation. And this is very important. It's the thoughts that we have about the confrontation that creates the emotion of fear. So we are creating the fear. We are the one that creating it. It's not the confrontation that's creating the fear. And that's cool to know, because if we are that powerful to create it, then we are able to easily undo that on a conscious level. And here, what we need to do or ask ourselves is, okay, well, what am I really afraid of? What am I really afraid of? This is very important. Each one of us can do that, and your beliefs or thoughts about confrontation may be different than mine, and they may be different from somebody else's. So very important to ask yourself this question. What I'm suggesting to you is, if you struggle with confrontation, is to realize that it's not the confrontation itself. That's the first step. It's your beliefs about the confrontation. And so this is an opportunity now to ask yourself, that's the second question. Okay, well, what am I afraid of? And let's kind of brainstorm a couple of things that we could be afraid of, because it's common to a lot of people. We could be afraid of not getting what we want. That's an option. We could be afraid of how the other person is going to respond. That's a second option. We might be afraid that they're going to get angry at us. That's a third option. Or if we confront them about something, well, maybe they will leave us. This is a fourth option. Maybe they'll get mad at us. Maybe they won't like us. They would reject us. Rejection. And it is very important here to realize that we are hardwired in our DNA to fear rejection. Rejection is really fearful for the human being, because at the time of our ancestors, rejection, disconnection from the tribe could have killed us. But not anymore. And we need to realize and consciously realize that rejection never kills anyone. How many times have you been rejected at work? Or even dumped by a partner? Have you died? Of course not. So this is very important to realize. I will continue. We might be afraid that if we confront a certain person or a partner or a co-worker about something, they're going to respond in a way that we do not like and that we're uncomfortable with. Again, if we are uncomfortable with that, we can now dig deeper and say, okay, what's my fear if they get mad at me? If we dig down deep enough, it may just be that what we're really afraid of is that if we speak our mind, if we hold somebody else accountable, if we say something that another person doesn't like or appreciate, maybe our value, that is connected to other people, it's connected to what other people think of us. So our value is what other people think of us. And we are afraid of that judgment, because then we're going to have to deal with the belief that we have, that our value is based on what other people think of us. And we don't want to face that. So we would rather hang on to those false beliefs that we're only okay and good if other people appreciate us, accept us, think high of us, instead of recognizing that no, we're just okay, period. No matter what, we are enough. This is how we are. This is how we think, this is how we act. Accept that this is how we are. The truth is, each one of us is unique in his or her own way, We are not supposed to be alike, not at all. We are not supposed to think and act alike. Imagine a world where all people are photocopies of each other, where everyone is so perfect, is so predictable, and this is how things are supposed to be. We would probably not exist or even not survive. So we need those differences that exist in the world. So if someone gets offended or upset, angry at something that I say, it's important to remember it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with me. It has all to do with the other person. So the person or the other person is choosing their response. We are free to choose our response based on where they are in their own life. If I say something to them and they take offense, but my intent was really not to offend them, then the truth is, I cannot offend them. Whatever I say, it's their response that offended them. The truth is that they are choosing to be offended based on their own beliefs and their own feelings about themselves. Always, always remember that. So if I take responsibility for that, now what I'm actually doing is taking away the control or the accountability from that person. I'm trying to assume responsibility and accountability for something that I am not accountable for and I have no control over whatsoever. If I have a confrontation with somebody and they get angry, I don't have the power or the control to make them angry. Realize that. It's not me that is making them angry. Think about it. That's one of the principles that govern this world in which we live. And that is that each one of us control our own emotions. And we also control our thoughts and we control our behaviors. So I cannot make somebody be angry. So if I am saying something to that person and this person is getting angry, that's a choice that they are making because they have learned throughout their life and that when they get angry, it does something for them. This is their beliefs. It gives them a payoff or a benefit. This is the belief again. So it may be that it's difficult for them to hear what I have to say because I'm holding them accountable for something they did or didn't do. And maybe they feel bad about that and they don't want to face that feeling because they have false belief that in order for them to be okay, they have to be perfect. This is their belief. And when I confronted them, it triggered this belief and they got angry. It's not me that I made them angry. Now that I'm confronting them, they realize they made a mistake, which may mean to them that they are not okay. So we create these patterns in our lives that are based on false beliefs, all with the goal to make us feel okay about ourselves and ultimately be happy. That's the ultimate goal. And yet, unless those beliefs are based on truth, what happens is we create patterns of behavior that may seem to work for us in the short term, but in the long term, it only creates more of what we don't like and more of what we don't want. So no happiness on the long term. The solution to overcoming the fear of confrontation is to recognize and realize, first of all, it's not the confrontation. It's my thoughts and beliefs, and to understand that I have full control over my thoughts and beliefs. This is a golden chain. My thoughts control my feelings. My feelings control my actions. And my actions control my events and my life. So if you want to learn to confront and push your life forward, all you need to do is understand the belief behind the fear of confrontation and reframe this belief. Then as a result, confrontation becomes a piece of cake with practice. Something else very important. We are hardwired to stick to the familiar and run away from the unfamiliar because the unfamiliar might be dangerous to us. This is how our brain functions. So once you understand the belief and decide to change it consciously, you will feel still uncomfortable with it. It will not be an easy thing to do because this has been unfamiliar to you for a very long time. So how to waive that? Repetition, repetition, repetition. To resume, hiding in the shade and not confronting is not going to make you grow. It will not work on the long run. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And I hope that you had some aha moments from this video. And if you really want me to help you uncovering your beliefs, because sometimes it's not very direct, and reframing them, changing them, please click on the link below and book your free discovery call right now. Thank you for watching.